Spotting true allies, how to identify real friends. Before we dive headfirst into the wild world of winning friends and influencing people, let's take a moment to play a little game of Spot the Real Friend. Trust me, it's more fun than it sounds. You see, there's a sneaky category out there that often tricks us. Let's call them work friends. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I see these people every day. Surely, they're my friends. Not so fast, eager beaver. Just because you share a cubicle wall and occasional awkward elevator rides doesn't mean you're destined to be BFFs. This confusion harks back to the days when we thought anyone we spent time with was a friend. Spoiler alert, that's not always the case. This is your trusty guide to mastering the art of making friends and influencing people in this modern jungle we call life. And while it's not rocket science, step numero uno is crucial. You gotta know how to spot a real friend. And, just as importantly, you need to recognize what doesn't make someone a friend. We've picked on work friends here, but this wisdom applies across the board. Whether it's your gym buddy, your neighbor, or that person you always see at the coffee shop, the same rules apply. So, to become a friendship ninja and a people-influencing wizard, you need to develop a sixth sense for identifying who's genuinely in your corner and who's just sharing the Wi-Fi. Ready? Let's get friending. Who can you count on?
That old saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed, is about as reliable as a chocolate teapot these days. And I'm sticking to my guns on that. But let's not kid ourselves. Knowing which of your buddies will stick around when the going gets tough is still crucial. Picture this. You're knee-deep in financial quicksand, and you need a lifeline. Now, think about your work pals and your other friends. Who's your go-to for a cash infusion? Who's going to be your personal ATM without charging you interest? Take a moment to ponder this. Grab a piece of paper if you need to. Jot down names and start circling the ones you can count on, the folks you wouldn't hesitate to call when you're in a pinch. Sure, there will be those who wouldn't lift a finger to save you from a paper cut, but there will also be those who'd wade through a swamp to pull you out. It's these little signs that help you figure out who's worth their weight in gold and who's just, well, filler. So go ahead, separate the wheat from the chaff, and maybe send a thank you card to your real friends while you're at it. Who will be with you?
When you're pondering who your real friends are, it's like planning for a zombie apocalypse. You gotta think ahead. Picture the person 2 years from now. Will they still be texting you, or will they have vanished like your high school crush? Most of our so-called friends from school, college, and work are just like those temporary tattoos, cool while they last, but they fade away faster than your New Year's resolutions. Once that common bond of shared misery, activities is gone, poof, so is the friendship. A true friend, on the other hand, is like a good pair of stretchy pants, always there for you, no matter how much you've changed. They stick around through all the crazy phases of your life. Even if they're not physically present, they'll still send you memes and random remember when texts. And hey, with all the ways to stay in touch these days, you'd have to try really hard to lose them.
What do you know about your friend's family? All right, buckle up for a wild ride through the friendship jungle. So, here's the deal. There's this magical thing called knowing your friend's life outside of the shared coffee machine or that one classroom you both dread. Come on, just because you both laugh at the boss's terrible jokes or share notes in class doesn't mean you're BFFs forever. Let's play a little game of how well do you really know your friend? Do you know if they have a secret pet iguana named Mr. Fluffy? Can you list their top 3 favorite pizza toppings? Do you know where they disappear to on weekends? And who are these mysterious other friends they talk about? True friends, on the other hand, are like open books with a few missing pages. They'll spill the tea about their lives outside the office or classroom, and they'll be all ears about your weekend adventures and weird family traditions. They're basically the Sherlock Holmes to your Watson, always wanting to know more about each other. So, remember folks, real friends are nosy and proud of it. They dig deep and share the dirt, because that's what true friendship is all about. Do they regard you seriously?
Next time you're hanging out with someone from work or school, pay attention to how seriously they take you. Do they really listen when you talk? Do they ask for your opinions or suggestions and actually consider them? Do they show interest in your likes, dislikes, and feelings? Are they genuinely interested in you as a person, or do they just want to be around you? If they truly care about you and value what you have to say, then you've found a good friend who respects you. But if they're only interested in your company and not in you as a person, they're being selfish. They just want someone to hang out with. And that's not real friendship. Friendship should be a two-way street. Just like you should care about them, they should care about you too. It's all about mutual interest and respect.
What do you talk about? Here's a quirky way to unmask your true pals. Picture this: you bump into your so-called buddy outside the confines of work, school, or college. Can you chat about random stuff, like the latest cat meme or that bizarre dream you had about flying tacos? Or do you find yourself stuck in an endless loop of discussing spreadsheets, homework, or whatever shared activity brought you together in the first place? If the conversation dries up faster than a puddle in the Sahara when you stray from your usual topic, congratulations. You've discovered a friendship as flimsy as a paper towel in a rainstorm. Real friends, they're like a never-ending buffet of conversation topics, never awkward, never boring, and always ready to dive into the deep end of weirdness with you. So, if your chats are more tumbleweed than talk show, it might be time to reevaluate that friendship. Do you feel happy for them?
So, how much do you really heart them? Like, would you break out into a happy dance if something awesome happened to them, even if it meant you had to take one for the team? Picture this: you're both gunning for the same promotion. If they snagged it, would you still be doing cartwheels of joy? And flip the script: if you got the promotion, would they be popping champagne or plotting your demise? The real test of your buddy-buddy status is how well you can bask in each other's glory. If you're not feeling those warm and fuzzy vibes, then Houston, we have a problem. You can't really call it friendship if your emotional connection is as weak as a soggy noodle.
Do you plan things to do together? So, you want to figure out if your friendship is the real deal or just a meh acquaintance. Here's a little litmus test. Do you actually plan fun stuff to do together, and more importantly, do you actually enjoy it? I'm talking about more than just being stuck in the same room because fate or your boss decided to throw you together. Do you two plot grand adventures like movie nights, library escapades, or shopping sprees that would make even the Kardashians jealous? And when you do, is it a blast or a total snooze fest? Can you chat for hours without wanting to fake a phone call to escape? If you find yourselves eagerly planning more than just the obligatory 9-to-5 grind or the "oh, we both have to be here" scenario, congratulations, you might just have a friendship that's blooming like a flower in spring. On the flip side, if your friend would rather do their taxes than hang out with you outside of work or school, well, you might just be work buddies. True friendships should leap over the mundane hurdles of daily obligations like a caffeinated kangaroo. Conclusion: nurturing true friendships.
So, here's the scoop. When you're sizing up your friendships, keep these tips in mind. The world is full of all kinds of people, and you're bound to bump into a variety of characters. But our goal here is to forge strong friendships and leave a lasting impression. Now that you're armed with the signs of a quality friendship, you know what to aim for. Aim for a friendship that goes beyond just clocking in and out of shared spaces. It's about caring for each other, knowing their family members who aren't even on your radar, understanding what makes them tick, and sharing in their joys and sorrows. Basically, it's about being their personal cheerleader and therapist rolled into one. Friendship is a beautiful thing, but getting it to that level takes some serious TLC. So, go forth and nurture those friendships. And remember, if you can plan a spontaneous road trip at 2 a.m. and still want to talk to each other afterward, you're doing something right.
And along those lines, friend, if you found this helpful, please subscribe, like, share, and tickle the YouTube algorithm.